Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasyatravo Vinihataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishnadeva Samuthitam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tisthati Sarvametadakhilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Srimanarayana. With blessings of Sri Chinmaya Swamiji, we're continuing Bhagavad Gita. We are in chapter 8. We finished sloka 24. Today we'll start with sloka 25. Verse 25. Hope you can see.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, please chant. Dhumo ratristatha Krishnaha
Dhumo ratristatha Krishnaha
Shanmasa Dakshinayanam
Shanmasa Dakshinayanam
Tatra Chandramasam Jyotihi
Tatra
Chandramasam Jyoti
Yogi Prapya Nivartate.
Yogi Prapya
Prapya Nivartate
Nivartate.
Let's chant together.
Dhumo Ratristatha Krishna
Shanmasa
Janmasa
Dakshinayanam
Dakshinayana
Tatra
Tatra
Chandramasam
Chandramasam
Jyoti
Jyoti
Yogi Prapya
Prapya
Nivartate.
In the previous sloka, we learned about Archiradi, the path that starts with Agni, or it's also called white path. Okay, and when a yogi, when the Atma who is seeking God, when it leaves the body, it travels in the path of Archiradi. Okay, and also, I mean, the whoever is seeking Atma as well, Atma seeker as well, that Atma is also traveling through the path of Archiradi only. Okay, and after traveling in the Archiradi path, there is no return for that particular Atma into another body. Okay, so very important to note that it is not that Atma is taking birth. There is no birth for Atma. Okay, it is not when somebody is born, it is the body that is taking form, or it's being born. Atma inside that body is not taking birth. I mean, it was like whenever we say birth, right? It was not existing before, and then it is taking birth. That's what we call as birth. Atma is not like that. Atma is existing before that body, which is formed when the body is taking birth, and Atma is continuing after the body is born. So it is the material nature that is actually is formed or born. Okay, but because we are used to, right? Oh, I took birth in this body is what we kind of say it for as a easy way of saying, but we are not taking birth, right? There is no birth, there is no death for Atma. Okay, so that is about Archiradi. Archiradi, once the Atma travels on that path, it does not return, it does not take birth again. And it does not take birth again means it does not take another body. Again, it's not that Atma is going to be born no matter what. Okay, so in this particular sloka, Lord Krishna is saying another path. Okay, this path starts with Dhumaha, is smoke. On that path, we have next is Ratri. Ratri is night. Next is Krishna Paksha. Krishna Paksha is the dark fortnight. waning period of the moon. Shanmasaha Dakshinayanam, the 6 months of southern course of the sun. So, sun has two periods of 6 months in 1 year. Okay, the first 6 months is Uttarayanam. Then next 6 months is Dakshinayana. Of course, it's a cycle. So first and next is like is meaningless. It goes in cycles. So on this path, the next is Shanmasaha Dakshinayanam. These are not the time periods that we know. Right? Again, we are clarifying that these corresponds to the corresponding devatas who carry the Atma on this path, which is traveling on this path. Okay, so Dhumaha is smoke. Devata, that is assigned, the category, assigned the department of smoke. Then Ratrihi, Devata of night. The Krishna Pakshaha, Devata of the dark fortnight. So these are the devatas that are carrying the Atma on this path. Okay. So Lord Krishna is saying, yogi, a person of meritorious deeds, tatra, there on that path or in that path, chandramasam jyotihi prapya, after attaining chandramasam jyotihi, lunar brilliance. Chandra is, people know, like moon, right? Chandramasam jyotihi, lunar brilliance, nivartate, comes back, returns. So the yogi who has performed the meritorious deeds, who is a wealth seeker, wealth and power seeker, that we learned, right? There are 4 types of people who approach Paramatma. Okay, the first 2 categories of people are primarily they are seeking wealth, either the wealth that they lost or the wealth that they want to, new wealth that they want to gain, arthati. So these 2 categories of people are wealth seekers. Wealth is also associated with power, right? So wealth and power seekers who want to enjoy that wealth and power. So those Atmas, which are wealth seeker Atmas, who are approaching Paramatma in order to get wealth and power, those Atmas travel on this path. So what do we name this path as? Because it is starting with Dhumaha, it's called Dhumadi. Adi means starting, right? So it begins with Dhumaha. So it is called Dhumadi. So once an Atma, who which is seeking wealth and power, is released from the body, it travels on this path, Dhumadi, and after attaining lunar brilliance, is basically after attaining whatever, after enjoying that power and wealth for some time, it has to come back again. This is the difference between the Archiradi and Dhumadi. In Archiradi, the Atma travels on that path, one-way ticket. It does not return back. In Dhumadi, it's a two-way ticket. So the return ticket is guaranteed. It depends how many, how long that Atma will stay in that state of enjoying the wealth and power in a world where it can enjoy wealth and power, but it has to come back again. Okay, so very important. A person here also, Lord Krishna said yogi. Here the reference is to that wealth seeker, a person who has done meritorious deeds, who left, the Atma that leaves the body while thinking of Paramatma, and there are so many things that Lord Krishna gave, right, about what we need to do if we are seeking wealth. Okay, we have to continuously remember Paramatma, especially at the time of leaving the body. It's one of the criteria, right? And how we need to remember Paramatma, right? So all that is mentioned. So one, if an Atma is leaving body, which meets those conditions, right, with Paramatma's blessings, it will travel on this Dhumadi Marga, Dhumadi path. Okay, so it reaches Dhuma Devata first. Okay, and that Dhuma Devata will carry to the next stage, that is Ratri Devata. Like that, it will go on, and then it will go to a state where it can enjoy that wealth and power and returns back. Okay, that's clear. There is not given here, but there is another path. So you may ask, what happens to those who are not approaching Paramatma, either for wealth or for self-realization or God realization, right? What happens to those Atmas?
They'll go through similar some kind of path and they'll return at some point, just like wealth seekers as well. But I don't think they'll enjoy that, right? And enjoyment, whatever wealth seekers are getting. I don't think they'll get that either. So maybe they'll return.
Yeah, they will travel on another path called Yamyadi Marga, and there it will experience, all the negative effects, and then it has to come back and take birth again. Okay, so and it will take birth either in the same category or lower category, typical lower category. So when I say category, Deva, Manusha, Tiryak, Sthavara, right? So Manusha may become either Tiryak or Sthavara. Tiryak is any animal or bird or insect. And then Sthavara is stationary things for a long, long time, right? And then they have to again take birth as human and then go up the chain. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next sloka, sloka 26. Shukla Krishne Gati Hyete
शुक्लकृष्णे गति ह्येते
Jagatah Saswate Mate
जगतः शाश्वते मते
Ekaya Yatyanavruttim
एकया
यात्यना
यात्यम्
Anyaya Vartate Punaha.
अन्यया
अन्यया
वर्तते
वर्तते
पुनः
पुनः
Let's chant together.
शुक्लकृष्णे गति ह्येते जगतः शाश्वते
शाश्वते
मते
मते
एकया
एकया यात्यना
यात्यनावृत्तिम् अन्यया
अन्यया
वर्तते
वर्तते पुनः
पुनः
So here Lord Krishna explained about two paths, Achiradi, Dhumadi. And he's saying, Ete Gati, these two paths, Ete, these two paths, Sukla Krishna, Sukla Krishna. Sukla is white and Krishna is dark, right? So the white path and the dark path. The white path is Achiradi, dark path is the Dhumadi. Saswate Mate are permanently ordained in scriptures. Okay, Jagataha, for the world. Okay, so these two paths are, declared in our scriptures. It's like always right? It's not like something that is, you know, is there only now. It is always there, right? Permanently declared, very, very clearly, there's no question about it. Okay. Ekaya yati anavrittim. Ekaya by the first one. Yati anavrittim attains the state of not returning. Na avritti. Na avrittim. So, so if you go on the first path, then you do not return back. Okay. That means we do not have to take birth again. And I say we are not going to be born. We are not going to take another body again. Anyaya avartate punaha. By the other path, anyaya avartate punaha. So one comes back again. Very simple. Okay, there are two paths. Earlier also, Lord Krishna explained very clearly for path 1, you go there, you don't return. Path 2, you go there, enjoy for some time, and then return back. Again, summarizing, saying that there are these two white and dark paths are listed in our scriptures very clearly. Since eternal, since the beginning. And there's no such thing called beginning, it's eternal. By the first one, the white path, one does not have to return if you travel on that. And if you travel on the dark path or Dhumali, you would have to return back. Okay, one would have to come back and take birth again, take body again. Always say birth, but we are taking another body. So, knowing these two, which path, what is more preferred?
Achiradi marga.
Archiradi Margam, right? So, on Archiradi Marga, we have who travels on Archiradi Marga?
Jijnasura Jnani.
Yes.
Okay.
Jignasu is the Atma seeker and Jnani is the God seeker. Very good. And Artha and Adhati are traveling on the Dhumadi and return back. Will take birth again. They are also doing meritorious deeds, right? But unfortunately, they have to take birth again. They enjoy for certain time that wealth and power and come back again. Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
We see the population of the human beings in the world is increasing every year.
Mhm.
So, and to say there are more number of people doing good job and coming back, more number of Atmas coming back is doing a good job.
Very good question. This Sri Swamiji has answered several times. Even I had the same question. Of course, I didn't ask Sri Swamiji. Swamiji answered it, knowing that we will have this kind of questions. So, so we may let us say human beings are the only race that is there, right? Let's say human beings become very intelligent and say, oh, Deva, Manusha, Tiryak, Sthavaras are there. Tiryak and Sthavaras are like lower than us. Let us eliminate them completely. So then, whoever is taking birth will have to take birth only as Manusha, right? Isn't it? Isn't it so clever? So let us eliminate, of course, we cannot eliminate Sthavara. So let us eliminate all Tiryaks. Means all animals, birds, insects, let us eliminate everything. Then what happens? If we have to take birth again as a Tiryak because of our guna and karma, So then there is no Tiriyak anymore. So we have to take birth as human, right? But just by taking birth as human, do we get all human qualities? A human can behave like an Tiriyak also, an animal. Okay, so the fact that we are basically trying to, eliminate all these animals directly or indirectly, we are causing all disturbance in the nature. Okay, and yes, the population of human beings is increasing, but it's questionable whether all those people, all those atmas which are taking birth as human, are really behaving like a human. A lot of people don't even know what it is like to be a human. Human in the form of human, they simply follow the principles of an animal, and worse than that, because an animal will follow the rules of nature, and because human will use whatever human knowledge and energy that is there, not for the good purpose to go to a higher level, for a bad purpose. So a human who is not having human tendencies, behaving like a Tiriak, will actually get worse karmic bondage than the Tiriaks. So it is actually a curse. Somebody who is born as a human but doesn't know how to be a human will, at the end of the day, will end up with more karmic bondage than taking birth as a Tiriak. Because we have the tendencies to, we in the sense that the humans can do much more harm than Tiriaks. They follow all the Tiriaks follow the same natural, whatever is the natural order. They eat only whatever is given, whatever is suitable for them, only the amount that is suitable for the animals or birds, and there's no greed, right? There's no greed at all. There's nothing like showing power, destroying everything in the nature in order to show power. Even though the animal may be so powerful, like lions and elephants, even a small ant, they will not even hurt a small ant if it is not needed. So unfortunately, human beings do all kinds of things which are totally against the principles that are given in Bhagavad Gita. So, and we have that capability. So we try to do it, and obviously that results in higher karmic bondage than an animal. So yes, one reason why the human population may be growing could be that instead of taking birth as a Tiriac, some are taking birth as human with Tiriac tendencies. Okay, so the population may be increasing, but it is not really the human population that is increasing. It may be human really who and behave like humans, and then another category of humans who are like animals. They don't know what is like to be a human. So yeah, destroying all other all the forests, for example, and then all the birds and animals who live in that forest can't take birth anymore. Like, so they have the jivas who have to take birth as a Tiriac don't have a place to go. So it will take birth, that Atma may take birth as a human, but that human may have a same tendencies as a animal.
I think in Shloka 19th, the same bhutas are going and coming back. Bhagavan has given the knowledge. So it may appear that new bhutas are being created for us, but Bhagavan said, bhutva bhutva praliyate.
Yes. I mean,
19th,
I mean, that material takes birth again and again.
again and again.
So
It's
same
not that
material,
nothing.
there's no destruction. Again, the principle of conservation of energy, conservation of mass. There is absolutely no destruction of mass at all. It is
Exactly.
changing form. So mass is changing form to another form of mass, or mass is changing to energy. But there is no, or energy changing to mass, but there is no destruction anywhere while this cycle of creation is going on. So when let us say a person passes away, the material that is made up of the body of the person will be recycled into some other body, right? Not on the same day, but it will be recycled into some other body. And then whatever bodies that we are, we are growing, right? We are using the material from the nature, and then we are growing. So that whatever matter that we are eating and breathing and drinking, it is forming into the material nature within us. So and then the cycle continues. So it is the material nature is the one that is taking birth again and again with no destruction. But at the end of Brahma's day, that entire material nature, which is in a manifested form that we can see and experience, that is formed into unmanifested form, which we cannot differentiate anymore. And then takes birth again. So that bhuta is taking birth again and again, referring to the matter which takes birth. Of course, the matter is taking birth with an atma placed in it. Okay, so and of course, our bodies have multiple atma. That's another topic. But so there's a primary atma for every body, and that is the one that is driving that body. And when that primary atma leaves the body, then we call it is, it is the death of that particular body. And then when that atma goes into another body, that another body which is formed, right, and then grows, then it is the body that is taking birth with atma placed in it, and again the atma will drive that body with the knowledge.
So many are coming back, meaning more and more self-centeredness is increasing, sir, or are these?
Yes. See, if we are doing the meritorious deeds, or if our karmic bondage requires us to experience with the human body, right? Then we'll get the human body. An animal may get the same experiences as a human, right?
Mm.
So if let us say we have to go through certain bad experiences, it may happen to any body, right? So just because somebody took a birth as a human may not be, it's not necessary that they are having better experiences.
Yeah.
But we have the opportunity to elevate ourselves. Those who are capable, those who are interested can elevate themselves. Otherwise, they will be like any other animal who live on this earth and die and experience whatever they need to experience, positives or negatives, based on the karmic bondage.
Mm. Okay.
I have one doubt, sir.
Sure.
Wealth seekers, they are not going to take one of these four categories, sir. They are going to experience in some other place and come back again.
They will come back again to one of these four.
After they leave the body.
Yeah. So that's a good question. So they will experience the wealth and power, and typically it is at a higher level, right? Higher stage. So they are we can consider them as a Devata form, right? Those wealth seekers who are the meritorious, who perform meritorious deeds, are taking the form of a Devata and then coming back and um, um, taking another body again.
Thank you.
I mean, we need a body to experience anything. That's the bottom line. Even when the Atma reaches Parapada, it is having the divine Sarira, divine body. Okay, so these Atmas, which are wealth seeker Atmas, which are experiencing the wealth and power in a world where they can experience, not on earth, of course. There is, and they take the body which is suitable for that experiences, not limited like human beings.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll move on to Shloka 27. This chant. Naite Sruti Partha Janan
Naite Sriti Partha Janan
Yogi Muhyati Kaschana
Yogi Muhyati Kaschana
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Yoga Yukto Bhava Arjuna.
Let's chant together.
Naite Sriti Partha Janan Yogi Muhyati Kaschana Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhava Arjuna.
So Lord Krishna explained about the two paths. And if you travel on the first one, Archiradi, then do not return back. And if you travel on the Dhumadi, then you have to come back again after experiencing the wealth and power. So Lord Krishna is saying in this particular sloka, Hey Partha, Arjuna, Kaschana yogi, any yogi, ete Sruti Janan, ete, these two. Sruti Janan, knowing these two. What are those two? Those two paths. Namuhyati, does not become deluded. Okay. So those who know about these two paths, they are not, there's no delusion. Okay. Tasmat, therefore, Hey Arjuna, Yoga Yuktaha Bhava, become Yoga Yuktaha. This Yoga Yuktaha comes many places. Become united with yoga is the literal meaning. So here in the context, what should we do? What should we become? Or what should be our activity? Knowing these two paths, become Yoga Yuktaha, he's saying. So which path we have to meditate on?
Chiradimada. So we keep thinking about that.
Yeah, so in this context, Yoga Yuktaha is meditating on Archiradi. So first we need to set the goal that I want to, I'm a God seeker only. And then we know what we need to do every day, every minute of our day. If I am a God seeker, then what is the path after I leave this body? What is the path that I will travel? So meditate on that. Meditate on that path. Meditate on Paramatma. Okay, that is yoga yukta bhava. And why do we need to meditate on it? Why do we need to think of Archiradi?
Because that's what Paramatma said, right? I think we want to keep remembering him at the time of leaving the body, the continuity, so that we can.
Yeah. Yeah, Paramatma said that, but so if you don't remember, Archiradi, if you don't remember that, what is that else that we are going to remember always?
Humadhi, right? We don't want to go to the Humadhi anyway. That's why
We are going to remember all materialistic things,
yeah.
right? And or we are going to, if we are thinking of wealth and power, then we know that, oh, this is inferior compared to the God seeking, right? Or self-realization. But in both, Atma seeking and God seeking is more supreme. It's a supreme thing. So we will naturally select that path, select that as our goal to seek God. But if we are not constantly remembering every day, then we will be thinking about other things like materialistic things, possessions and comforts, pleasures, relationships, everything related to our body here. So we have to always remember there is something beyond this, whatever we are living. I am not this body. I am this Atma. What is my goal? I have to travel on that path to reach my goal of seeking goal of reaching Paramatma, right? To serve Paramatma with no limitations. So we have to keep remembering that every day. Otherwise, we will be, pulled into all the materialistic things. We have to constantly remind ourselves. Okay. So it's that's why this Archiradi is the slokas are, we need to chant every day, is what our acharyas say. So we need to remember, when we are in front of Paramatma, we are chanting the slokas as part of our daily puja activities, right? Chant the Archiradi so that we remember that we need to, this is what I want, this is what I need. Okay, this is what I'm seeking. Okay, this is my goal. I want to travel on this path. I want to reach you. Is what we are asking Paramatma on a daily basis. Then we don't ask something else that is inferior, right? Okay. So always meditate on the Archiradi, he's saying. That's all, a very simple sloka. So our goal should be, so here indirectly Lord Krishna is saying our goal should be to not return again, because any birth is dukkhalayam asashrutam, right? Earlier Lord Krishna said, no matter how much money, power that we have on this earth, we will still be facing problems. Okay, so problems are constant. So if we want to not have problems, right? We want to have that bliss, pure bliss, with no problems, difficulties, issues, and troubles, hardships. We need to reach a state from where we do not have to take birth again into, or we do not have to return and take another body in this world. Not even as Deva. Right?
Which sloka, sir? Daily.
This 27.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Finished 27.
No, I think she's asking which sloka we should read. That's what
Oh, Archiradi. Sorry.
sloka 24.
It is there in Sripati Stutimala. Sripati Stutimala is part of Acharya app also. If you don't have it, it is Radhajaya Swamiji has given the slokas to us, and Chinnajaya Swamiji continuing, and to guide us with the same. So Achiradi Marga is is the slokas where we remember that about Achiradi.
It's not sloka 24 from this chapter, sir. That's what I thought.
No. There's separate.
Separate kind of series.
Slokas. Okay.
Okay, but even if we are not chanting sloka, we just need to remember about Archiradi. That is what Lord Krishna is saying. Okay, there are two paths for me. This is what we need to remember. There are two paths for me. So we are praying to Paramatma, right? At that time. So we are not like the one who is not approaching Paramatma. So we are already approaching Paramatma. When we approach Paramatma, seek the state where I do not have to return. And the other path is where I may enjoy, but I may have to return again. And then again, go through the cycles of taking various bodies again. Okay. Sloka 28 is the last sloka. Very important. Please chant. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva
tapassu chaiva
daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam
daneshu yat punyaphalam pradishtam
atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanamupaithi chadyam.
yogi param
Let's chant together.
Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat yogi chadyam.
Lord Krishna is making very, very, very clear what should be our goal, what should we do. Okay, so in this particular sloka, Lord Krishna is saying, yogi idam viditva. Yogi, who is a God seeker, idam viditva, after knowing this, atyeti, goes beyond. Tat sarvam yat punya phalam pradishtam, goes beyond all those fruits of merit that which are declared. Okay, so what are the fruits of merit? I mean, what are the meritorious activities? Or by doing which activities we earn the punya phalam. Okay, it is Vedeshu, in the study of Vedas, Yajneshu, in the Yajnas. Yajnas is ritual sacrifices, ritual practices, right? Tapas, in tapas, austerities, in English they say austerities, like fasting, doing penance, tapas. Cha eva, and even daneshu, in charities, in donation. So, knowing this knowledge that is given in the Shastras, that Lord Krishna has given to us so far, right? He clearly mentioned that it is not the meritorious, it's not the papas that, sorry, it is not the punyas that we need to have focus on. I need to acquire as much punyam as possible. No, we have to go beyond the punyam, beyond all the activities that give us punya phalam. Okay, I mean, go beyond. We are not saying that we should not be doing those activities, but we should go beyond what normally we expect from those activities. Normally, we treat them as punya phalam activities, right? We get the punya phalam when we consider those, when we perform those activities. Lord Krishna is saying you perform them, but don't limit yourself to acquiring the punya. Go beyond them, right? See, you are doing some activity, and then you will get some result for that activity. Don't limit yourself to that result. You go beyond. There is something that is beyond that. That's what Lord Krishna is saying. So, a yogi who is a God seeker, after knowing this knowledge, whatever Lord Krishna has given in the last 2 chapters about Atma and Paramatma, okay, they go beyond the simple, the normal punya phalam, the fruits of merits that you get in doing, in study of Vedas, in performing yajnas, in performing tapas, and in doing charities, donations. Don't seek punyam, because if you are seeking punyam, you have to return back again. So you have to go beyond that. Okay, and Lord Krishna is saying, Adyam param sthanam upaiti, attains Adyam, ancient, param sthanam, supreme state of Paramatma, right? State of state equivalent to Paramatma. So perform these activities, but don't seek punyam as a result of those activities. You go beyond. You seek me. You seek Paramatma. Okay. One who performs the activities like that, seeking God, then they attain the supreme state, equivalent to Paramatma. So these are all, so this study of Vedas, performing yajna, performing tapas, and performing dana, right? These four activities we are supposed to do. So we should not be rejecting them, but don't do them in order to acquire punyam, because they are meritorious deeds. You do them as your duties, and with the goal of reaching Paramatma. When we do those activities as worship to God, right? Not to earn punyam. We are doing it as worship to Paramatma. Then we'll attain the same state as Paramatma. So Lord Krishna is making it very clear that both Papa and Punya are binding. And our Acharyas have said that Papa is like an iron chains around us, okay, and which are not comfortable, right? And the punyam is like gold chains. They look beautiful, but still they are binding, right? Don't be entangled in this world seeking punyam, limiting yourself to punyam. Nobody is really having a goal of seeking papam. They will do papam because they don't know the scriptures, or even if they know scriptures because they choose not to do it, then they acquire papam. So don't limit yourself to punyam. Go beyond punyam and seek me. Then I will give you that state of state equivalent to Paramatma, equivalent to myself. This is what Lord Krishna is saying. That ends this chapter. We'll say the conclusion of 8th chapter. Please chant. Iti
Iti
Sri Bhagavad Gitasu
The Bhagavad Gitasu
Upanishatsu
Upanishatsu
Brahma Vidyayam
Brahma
Brahmavidyaya
Vidyayam
Yoga Shastre
Yoga Shastre
Yoga Shastre
Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade
Krishna
Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade
Akshara Parabrahma Yogo Nama
Achara
Brahma
Paraprapayogo
Yogo Nama
Ashthamodhyayaha
Tamo
Brahmodhyayah
Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Parabrahmane Namaha.
Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha
Om
Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha.
Jai Srimanarayana. Jai Srimanarayana. So in 8th chapter, very, very clearly again Lord Krishna clarified that there is material nature, there is and more than one Jivatma, right? And Paramatma, one Paramatma. Material nature takes birth again and again. It takes forms again and again. The beginning of the day is unmanifested, end of the day goes back into unmanifested. During the day of Brahma, it is in manifested state where it just recycles, the material nature recycles. There is no knowledge for material nature. Jivatmas are placed in these bodies, different bodies, and then at the end of the day, then they go back into Brahma again, and at the beginning of the day, they start taking bodies again. Okay, one day of Brahma is 1000 Chaturyugas, right? We'll learn that. So, and then Paramatma is the one whose supreme abode is Atma, pure Atma. Okay, so he's saying that in the previous chapters, he said, I have two natures, one material nature, and then the superior one is the Jivatma nature, right? We learned that earlier. So again, here he's saying that I am pervading all these bhutas that are being created, right? All the material nature. I am pervading the entire material nature, right? All the material nature is residing in me, dwelling in me. So they are part of my body. Okay. And then I also dwell in the Jivatma. Jivatma is the pure Jivatma is my supreme abode, he's saying. So I'm also dwelling in the Jivatma. So he's pervading, Paramatma is pervading the material nature and all the Jivatmas, giving energy to all and supporting all, protecting all, and he's enabling whatever activities that we do. He's enabling Parabrahma to do, he's enabling the Chaturmukha Brahma to do the creation. He's enabling all devatas to do whatever they are supposed to do, their duties. He's enabling all the jivas, all the bodies in this universe, whatever energy they have, is enabling that. And then at the end of that's why I'm repeating, because it is, some confusion, some misinterpretations are there. These three are three realities, again very clearly very clearly mentioned in the 8th chapter. The material nature, Jivatmas, and Paramatma. There is one Paramatma that is spreading the entire nature, supporting everything. Okay, so Jivatmas are many. Each Jivatma is carrying the karmic bondage and take birth based on the gunas, take the body and experience whatever karmic bondage is assigned to that particular Jivatma in that body. So that is the prarabdha karma. And after experiencing the karma, it will take another body, another from these sanchita karmas, some portion of that will be assigned for the next birth, and then the Jivatma takes another birth. If Jivatma happens to clear the karmic bondage, and Jivatma cannot clear by itself, Jivatma surrenders to Paramatma, and Paramatma clears the karmic bondage for the Jivatma. Then the Jivatma does not have to take birth again. So Jivatma travels in the Dhumadi Marga, not Dhumadi Marga, Achiradi Marga, and does not have to take birth again. In every other case, if the Jivatma's karmic bondage is not cleared, doesn't surrender to Paramatma, and the karmic bondage is not cleared, then the Jivatma has to take birth again, take another body again, and the cycle continues. Any questions on it? So one word is given as bhakti in chapter, last few slokas, right? Only through bhakti you can reach me, he said, right? So that is, all the other modes or means are given, they will become the stepping stone towards that bhakti. It's not like you can have that bhakti without the support of other the karma yoga and jnana yoga, right? So that bhakti will become purified. Will become perfect when we surrender to Paramatma. So with that bhakti, surrendering to Paramatma and following the bhakti marga, only we will be able to recognize him. That's what he said. So we will achieve our true goal. Our true goal is to reach that state of supreme bliss, state equivalent to Paramatma. So we'll achieve that state not with our own efforts, right? That we will realize whatever or type of activities that we do here. The type of activities or how we do the type of activities and our own efforts will not give us that state. It is how we do the activities and
I have
sorry,
a
go ahead.
question.
Sure.
So this bhakti, again, going back to this, right? Again, bhakti and bhava can be achieved only through the human form, right? Not in animal or the plant form. Meaning, you have to be born as human in order to exhibit that bhakti and bhava towards Paramatma, correct?
For animals, that knowledge will be limited, and also what they are capable of will be limited. So yes, they will not be able to see. In spite of all the knowledge that all the abilities that we have, in spite of getting this knowledge, we are still not getting the true knowledge, right? I mean, with little bit knowledge, still we are not becoming perfect with having so much knowledge. Animals can't attend Bhagavad Gita sessions like this. They have no knowledge of the supreme goal, and I have to reach. Animals have only one thing. They'll just have to take care of their body. That's it, as per the nature. So they do not
Yeah,
have
we see
the
a lot of
ability.
service animals, or also we see a lot of kamadhenu, where our Gomata is like, surrounding the temples and then doing the seva. I mean, there's so many instances, there's so many videos we see where they are really dedicated. They're showing, although they are not vocal about it, they're showing their bhakti in one or the other way, right? Even monkeys, like, are doing seva around the temples. There's many other instances, right? It makes me wonder, maybe just like they had to take this body, but they will still exhibit the same bhava, maybe more than that, right? Dedicated to the God, Paramatma, and surrendering completely to Paramatma. Yeah, of course, we have to take our needs of the body too, right? We are eating, we're doing things that we should be doing. So I'm just trying to understand the difference. Even kalpa vriksha, or like, or the plants that give like sweet fruits, and then like, people are able to eat on the way, the yogis is like, selflessly it's yielding the fruits. So is there any way that even in their body, right? Because that's also a birth, right? A small plant will, from seed to tree, it will become. And baby, even eggs, from eggs to like animals, will become mammals or the animals, right? So I'm just wondering, is there any possibility? Because they might also show you one or the other way. Only thing is they're not vocal about it, and so on, right?
So basically, they're following the laws of nature. So a tree is growing and it is giving fruits. It does not hate if we throw a stone at the tree, right? The tree always gives fruit, even to the person who is throwing the stone on it. Okay, so like that, any animal, they have their own laws of nature. Like a cow is very sacred. So they're following whatever is their birth, the nature rules for their birth, right? So it is not necessary that they have a goal of reaching Paramatma. They do not. I mean, typically the animals and trees and other beings don't have the goal of reaching Paramatma and doing the activities as service to Paramatma. Any activity that they do as service to Paramatma. Like a cow is there near the temple. Yes, it will. It is there. It is following its nature, and some animals may be blessed. I'm not saying that, but typically, you see all beings in the nature in one way or the other way. It is better than they are better than human who is not acting like human, right? So every animal, it only tries to harm somebody to protect itself. Like if it is threatened, only then it will try to harm somebody. Otherwise, it will live on its own. There's
Yes.
no hatred. Like one example is let's say there's a cow in a shed, and there's a snake right next to it. Snake doesn't bite the cow, and cow doesn't try to hurt the snake. They both live together without anything. So of course, if it is by nature, one has to eat the other. it appears that one is trying to hate the other one or trying to harm the other one, like a deer and a lion, for example. But it's a nature. It's not that one is hating the other one. It is just trying to feed, trying to eat. Otherwise, it is not going to survive. So human beings are not like that, right? So when we see those birds and animals living as per the nature laws, they may appear better than human beings, but they're simply following the laws of nature. So they're not they're not showing the bhakti. Now we'll know the ninth chapter. The reason why I said bhakti is now we need to know what is bhakti. It is not simply doing activities like praying to God, like Vedeshu, Ignishu, Tapassu, Jaiva, Danesh. Those activities, if we just do as just a study of Vedas, doing yajnas for the sake of doing the yajnas, it's not going to give the result that we are seeking. We have to do it as worship to God. To someone else, yeah, it appears so you're doing a lot of charity, a lot of yajna, tapas, but they're only acquiring punyam. Okay, so if an animal is doing, beyond its laws of nature, if an animal is doing more, express a more service to the devotees, for example, let us say, then it may be acquiring the punyam. Typically they do not have the knowledge of God and how to with bhakti only we are able to reach that state of God. And what is bhakti we will see, and whether animals have that kind of capacity to do it. And our scriptures say no. Again, we can't dissect an animal and see whether it's doing as bhakti or not when it is near a temple. But the scriptures say that they're simply following the law and nature. They do not have that higher capacity to learn the knowledge and practice the bhakti. Is not there for animals or other beings.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. We'll conclude in the concluding prayer. Ayena vacha mansendriyerva buddhyatmana va prakte swabhavat karomi yadit sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami Sriman-Narayana samarpayami Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu Om Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Jai Sriman-Narayana. Jai Sriman-Narayana, everyone. Thank you so much.
Jai Srimanarayana.
Jai Srimanarayana, sir.
Jai
Jai
Srimanarayana.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Sriman-Narayana.